Alive and alert on the north side of the. You know what? Ain't even. I'll be right back. Hey, ah. Okay. Turn this off because this sound like this gonna be going off all day long. Hmm. Okay. I'll give y'all some time to get in here. Um, I definitely. Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? I see Groovy in the building. What's going on, Groovy? I see Paul Martin in the building. And Juju. Salute, Devil Dog. What's popping? What's going on? Um, I'm waiting for y'all to slide up in here. I got a whole bunch. I got a lot of visual. I got a lot of mental. I'm a challenge. I'm a challenge some thought processes. Um, some of us might be in perfect sync with what I'm thinking, but we find that out tonight. I'm just gonna hang back here a little bit, get my assets ready. Yeah, got a phone for you. Some of this is interactive. I mean, all of it's technically supposed to be interactive, but some of it is specifically interactive because y'all get to be the judge. Okay. Somebody said I'm just sitting on top of a lot of stuff, action figure wise. Well, you know what I did? I went and did some research because I got a lot of different action figures from a lot of different action figure lines. So I see parallels. Let me just say that. Mario King, salute to you, sir. We doing what we doing, and we doing it well. Uh, uh, moving and thinking and doing and speaking in excellence, as we always try to do. We are not always successful because sometimes people, quote unquote, get your goat. I'm making a pledge to y'all, the Rock With Me Nation, to respond poignantly to things and not viscerally. Because I don't like it when people rent space in my head, especially when I ain't making no money off of it. So yeah, we gonna do some different stuff, some very different stuff. Trust. Hey, Kamoyo, look who's on the cover. Ah, yep, Drift. But that's not one of the. I saw this and I was like, hey, it's been a while since I've been through this. So I'm gonna go through it. Oh, and this has stories by R.A. Salvatore, the guy who created Drift. So, yeah, courtesy of IDW. The good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, is where you find it. where you find it, not who's got a monopoly on it, who's got a stranglehold on it, and who's institutionalized you to think and behave a certain way. Who would I cast as the companions of the hall? You caught me flat-footed. You caught me flat. I never contemplated it. I would have to give it some thought for real. I know it'd be some people look like this, you know, definitely. But while I'm on my, I'm on my train of thought. Wow. Wait a minute. I can actually do that. Theo in the building. Now it's a party. Again, yeah. See, I'm trying to get back into my D&D. I let it slide. I'm gonna be honest with you. I let a lot of it slide, and a lot of it's kind of on random access memory. But once I start digging back into the lore again, I'll be there. I'll be the first to say I'm not the expert. But I know what I know. There, I can only know what I know. All right. Almost enough of y'all in here for me to start. But while I'm at it, fuck it. There you go. Let's just leave that running, shall we? You know, as a constant reminder that if you have not commented, go ahead and drop a comment. If you do not like this channel, like this channel. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel. If you have not shared this channel, share this channel. And we'll just keep that going like a telethon. Remember back in the day when they'd have like the Jerry Lewis Labor Day telethon, and they'd have, you know, them tickers running across the screen. Only time TV stayed up all night. And Muzz would stay up and watch it. Well, as much as you could before you fell asleep. Because they'd have some very eclectic talent at the Jerry Lewis telethon. Yeah, they ain't playing when they, you know, when they say weird. But I mean, it's 3 a.m, so what was you expecting to be on the TV at 3 a.m? Anywho, way. I speculated about it enough. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, boys and girls. Let's get to it. Whoever ain't here just ain't here. But this is what's happening. We're going to talk about this. And yes, I already have had a discussion. Well, not a discussion. I had a whole there. I got a whole video with regard to this topic, and I don't want to belabor it. You know what I mean? I don't want to belabor it unless that's the conversation that this becomes. But that being said, okay, alternate universe story. I'm not so concerned about where this story takes place as it is the way it is built, the way it's advertised. You know, Theo, if Theo's still in here, he has some words with a certain editor over at Marvel Comics, and sounds like a case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing, or let's do some gaslighting, So I get him wanting to blow smoke up somebody's butt, but you got to understand, these ain't noobs. These ain't, you know what I'm saying? Folks that don't know what they're talking about. And the main crux of one of the videos I did with regard to this is, when it comes to the character of T'Challa, we always talking about death. No matter what medium it is, we've always got to bring up the death of T'Challa. Now, as someone so redundantly pointed out to me on X the other day, Batman's had a death arc. Superman's had a death arc. But here's the thing with Batman and Superman. I was never under the impression, and if you were back in the 90s and the 2000s when said characters died, you're a little slow. I was never, ever under the impression that Superman was never coming back. I know the people over at DC was like, yeah, we killing him, but we stand to make too much money if we bring him back. Hence, the mechanic, the gimmick, if you will, of killing a character became popular. Now, understand what I'm saying? Superman's death ain't the first time a character majorly died. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, the first one to really make waves in comics, them dying, wasn't it Jean Grey? But now she's died and come back so much, Marvel's kind of like, hey, her name's Phoenix. What do you expect, huh? So there ain't a whole lot you can say about that, because that's plausible, but then everybody and their mama just start dying. Death loses its significance if death becomes the only plot device, the go-to plot device. Just like right now, cinematically, the multiverse is the go-to plot device. We got to have variants. We got to have these, you know what I'm saying? You left so much meat on the bone, not telling the stories that you could have told with these characters before you just dismissed them, sent them off to pocket dimensions or wherever the heck everybody's supposed to be at, and just plain old dead. Why can't we see Armor Wars with Tony Stark? War Machine got storylines of his own. Or, God forbid, a character underused and underutilized and overlooked. James Rhodes could get some shine in a series of his own that ain't Armor Wars. Just thought. But where I'm at is, how cool would Armor Wars with Tony Stark be? It's just a thought, though. But as far as this world to come thing, that's my only concern, because it's always like when something becomes fashionable, movie-wise, eventually they always want to transfer that shit to the comic book. Sometimes it works. It works great. sometimes, but other times it fails dismally. Blade's look, the black leather, all that, that's way better than a brown leather trench coat and some green safari pants and goggles. That's infinitely better. You know what I mean? I mean, now that looks kind of enjoying some kind of resurgence amongst cosplayers, but overall, Blade just looked like a dude in some gaudy ass clothes. You know what I mean? But like I said, the movie redefined how we looked at Blade. He became cool if he wasn't cool, and if he was cool, he became cooler. I don't think Blade was ever. Never mind. Anyway, then there are those times when we decide to change things and it don't work so well. The X-Men in black leather. And somebody thought blue and yellow uniforms would look stupid. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fine. Do what you do. Here's my point. When we get into these patterns, when we start, like, boom, for instance, if I say every few issues or so, I'm going to make sure that there's something in the comic that refers to Wolverine being pegged. Let's just go there. Why not? And this has to happen every couple 20, 30 issues or so, to the point where it becomes commonplace. Okay, some writer might have made that commonplace that Logan gets pegged. But there might be fans and there might be other writers and other people out there that don't necessarily think that's a good idea. If enough of those people get together and say, that's not a good idea, it'll work. They'll stop. Unless they making a whole bunch of sales, a whole bunch of money off of Wolverine being pegged. So, if and when I realize pegging and dying, unaliving are two different things, but bear with me. If every time I have this one character, I say at some point, he got to die. And every time he's in a story, directly, indirectly, and on the movie screen, in a cartoon, he got to die. Or if he doesn't die, he's got to be moved aside. Because it's a mantle. How often have you been hearing anybody talk about the Black Panther being a mantle? It wasn't until recently that you heard people talking about the Black Panther being a mantle. I mean, we know it's a mantle, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like we just made this freaking agenda where we got to focus on the fact that that's a mantle. We focused on the fact that Black Panther had relatives who were also Black Panthers, but we didn't make their relatives the focus. And even when his sister was the regent of Wakanda and a Black Panther in her own right, with and without the blessing of Baz, depending on which stage you was in with her, There you go. T'Challa was still alive. He was infirmed, but he was still alive. So, as much as people want to believe the agenda that's being pushed, that Black Panther story is about Wakanda, so all we focus on is Wakanda, 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 you start to believe after a while. That's what programming does. It programs your ass. Whether you keep reading it over and over again, whether you keep looking at it at a screen, or somebody keeps saying it to you. Multiply the visibility by a smartphone being constantly in your face, nonstop. I want to hear about that character. I want to hear about what that character's doing. I want to hear about what they had that character saying. I want to hear about what that character likes to eat. You can literally be inundated with information about one character. Hey, y'all. Somebody called me a T'Challa stan on X today. A T'Challa stan. Low key, I kind of like it. Being called a T'Challa stan. There. Now what? Was that meant to be a knock? T'Challa stan? Possibly. The bottom line, whatever terminology you want to use, I do not take anybody saying my respect for the character, my admiration for the character, it detracts from me as a person. Why would you hurl that as an epithet? I don't. If you know this about me, you know what I'm saying? People who know this about me don't do dumb stuff like that. Where y'all at in this? Woo, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right, slow down. Yeah. Gaslighting on an epic scale. Indeed. Grand Madam, hey, beautiful. How are you? This is a field test to see if folks accept it. And I'm the only one that sees that. I'm the only one that does not realize the world to come is a litmus test. And here's an even better question. You already had a future story about T'Challa. Why didn't you use that? Because I wanted to make my own story. Okay. Now I'm not, because see, I'm going to get into some stuff that me as little old insignificant content provider is going above my station to ask. So it's an AU story. Okay. And that's why I say, I even in the video, I'm not going to be mad at the writers. You know what I mean? Because the writers aren't the editors. The editor says what ultimately goes in there and what don't go in there. So you're the one making the choice. You're the one saying or allowing it to be said, T'Challa is dead, and now this new guy is taking over. Whatever the press junket said. You know what I'm saying? But that was the gist of it. If that wasn't what the story was about, why would you even begin? You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't that just be something we find out along the way or in the first issue? That's issue 1. You got 5 more issues. You talk about none of that. But that's the direction they wanted to go in. Make no mistake. And I don't be leaning all hard on what people say about me. I mean, I a lot of people say some nasty things about me, and a lot of people say some respectful things about me. And to those people who say respectful things about me, know that I will always do my best to try not to let some things go to my head and get gassed, to the point where I'm thinking I'm the shit and the smell. You know what I mean? So same people you step on your way up. But that ain't even what I was talking about. I just don't want to see what I know I see. So if I'm a stan, does that make them a hater? I don't know what it makes them, Theo. It makes them unable to have a conversation with me if you think you being on Twitter longer than me makes you in any way above me or better than me or smarter than me or slicker than me or more anything than me. Twitter is a fucking cesspool. That's not a flex. You know what I mean? But in due time, what Theo Bestie Roland say? We some no influence having fools. I guess that's what we are. If that's what Roland Martin says we are. That kind of stuff. See what I'm saying? So we was no influence having ass fools in what, 21? Come 25, folks want to know what we thinking about. Folks want to know what kind of videos we making. We gonna slide over there to the low subs page and or the pages that don't use bots and see what we can find. Yeah, I saw Fiverr. I was real close to doing it, about that close to doing it, but then I'm like, nah. I don't care how long it takes. I'm get mothers loving me on the strength of loving me, not Batman. Nah, don't need the boss to step up to the plate. Don't need the boss to step up to the plate. If the people know what I'm saying is true, they gonna be like, I FUX with him. And if they think I'm full of it, they ain't. But then, the people I'm not for, I'm not for. I'm not trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. If that ain't you, that just ain't you. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? So let people do what they do. I'm going to let them do what they do. I'm going to let them be great. I'm going to let them go off into the wild blue yonder and say whatever it is they want to say because they've been on Twitter for decades. Okay. In other news, remember Brightburn? Yeah, the story about the little, well, let's call it what if Superman didn't give a damn about human beings? There. That's what Brightburn was. It was basically the Elseworld story from hell. Right? So Brightburn is the story of Brandon Breyer. Mimics the powers of a DC superhero, but the same name system as a Marvel superhero. Peter Parker, Reed Richards, Richard Rider, Sylvia Sablinova. Um, Brandon Breyer, actually an alien, strange visitor from another planet. But instead of using his powers for good, he uses his powers for whatever the hell he wants to. Did y'all know up until 8 months ago, they were planning a sequel? How cool would that have been? But the director, David Yarovesky, wants to team up with James Gunn again. And it would only be common sense to have that guy do a movie about a prominent DC character. What DC character would the director of Brightburn best be suited to do? I know the obvious one. And that might not be off the table. He could do a Man of Steel movie, a Superman movie, since, he's already versed in Superman-ish type things going on in his movies. Who would be who I want him to be, who I'd want him to make, who I would love to see David Yarovesky make a movie about, a DC-based character? I would not be against seeing either Injustice Superman or Cersei. We saw Cersei on Creature Commandos. Now, how cool would a live action movie about Cersei be with his dark edge to it? Or we could have David Yarovesky do an absolute Wonder Woman. A lot of dark elements in absolute Wonder Woman, and he seems to do dark well. So, bam, there you go. Get Yarovesky over there and get some absolute Wonder Woman cracking tomorrow. that was just my 2 cents worth on that topic. Y'all cool with that? I hope y'all are. Oh, I know what I was supposed to do. I was grabbing something. Hang on. What in the world? It's supposed to be in here. Was it in here? I didn't send it. Oh, well, I guess I did not send it to myself. But before we segue, let me see what's happening. Off the table now. It's off the table. I just got done reading the article. I can pull it up for you real quick if you like. he only owned half of the rights to the property. And what we were gonna do, or what they were gonna do, is they were just gonna expand it, because like if you see Brightburn at the end, they were talking about the different, oh, this happened over here and this happened over there, and basically you was gonna end up with a crime syndicate. Invincible live action. Woo! That would definitely have to be rated R. That would definitely have. That'd probably be like NC-17. Do they still use that rating? NC-17? I know back in the day when they used to have like really provocative anime, that would be rated NC-17. Anyways, Gray, hey, Gray is in the building. What's up? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Y'all sliding in here. Slide on in here, sit for a spell. We were just talking about Brightburn, sir, and how there ain't gonna be a Brightburn 2, at least for the foreseeable future. There is not going to be a Brightburn 2. See, I did. They lagging. No doggone well I sent it. Sissy man. Ooh. No. Bam. There we go. There. Now I can continue with the menu. Now I have it in front of me. Okay. Well, since we are talking comics and comic-based stuff, comics are indeed a nice segue. I got an even cooler segue here in a second. Let me make sure I got the visual for it. Ooh, see, got to get that. Good thing I checked. See, I'm reminding myself on the fly. I like being me. There. Okay. Boom. Remember, I told you about this comic right here. I might keep fooling with this one. This might be one of two. For now, until the world pops up. Timeless, man. Timeless is actually piqued my interest. But anyway, this right here, a lot of it is spent telling the story of a special forces mercenary by the name of Adi. And he's pretty darn good at what he does. This should have been a Red Band comic. They could have much better illustrated their point. But anyway, Big Vibranium he pops back up just like we knew he would. And Big Vibranium continues to do what Big Vibranium does on a grander level, as if that were even possible. And it is. I told y'all that I picked this up, right? This is the it's TPB hardcover. Absolute power. I had no idea. I mean, I knew about Amanda Waller with, Suicide Squad, Task Force X, Argus, all of that. I knew she was, and excuse my language, an evil bitch. But I had no earthly idea, that she could go to the levels that she went to in this thing right here. I'm bruh. Amanda Waller's a cold piece, man. Amanda Waller's a cold piece. And she got the Batman robot failsafe and the Brainiac Queen and these amazos. Bruh. Here's the thing. Well, y'all probably done seen Absolute Power, huh? I ain't telling y'all nothing about Absolute Power. If y'all hit me in the comments if y'all already know what Absolute Power is all about, or if Theo did a video, which I'm pretty sure he probably did, just throw it in the comments and I can skip right past this and go straight to the segue. See, I'll be pivoting, baby. I'll be pivoting. Okay. Ghetto ball, jigga jigga, ghetto ball, jigga jigga. How evil a bitch is she? You don't know about? Okay. Let me tell you a little story about a gal named Annabelle Waller. When she became the head of Task Force X, and as we all know from reading Suicide Squad comic books and reading anything with Amanda Waller in it, she always has or always tries to have a, if you F with me, I'm going to do this to you. If you don't do what I ask you to do, I'm going to do this to you. If you don't finish the mission, I'm going to do this to you. So basically, she's Negan. Negan from Walking Dead is about the closest person I could equate to Amanda Waller, and she's way worse. She don't do the dirt herself in most cases, but she gets some dirty stuff done to people. Okay. Oh, you didn't discuss it? Okay. What she does in this book right here. Okay. She needs a superhuman template, first of all. What is she doing with the superhuman template? Per the instructions of Failsafe and through the machinations of the Brainiac Queen, she gets her hands on Jonathan Kent. Yeah, Superman boy. And uses him as the template to create Amazos. She's going to use Amazos. Well, she used Amazos, specialized Amazos, who they don't just duplicate the powers of the superhuman. They take the superhuman's power permanently. So there ain't, and see, here's the thing: destroying the Amazo don't give you your powers back. You think you're gonna go get help? No, Amanda Waller already went to the United Planets, already went to the Green Lantern Corps. Don't interfere with none of this shit. All right. Oh, do you use magic? Do you know what Amanda Waller came up with? Anybody using magic, as soon as they use the magic, their whatever equipment they have, they can't. It becomes ineffective, and they can't remember how to weave spells. Zatanna can't remember how to speak backwards. extra dimensional, multiversal, closed all that shit off. None of that. You can't go to another dimension to get help. You can't go to another planet to get help. You can't go nowhere to get help because I got a Mazos flying all over the planet. If you got a superhuman power, that shit's getting neutralized. If you got equipment, that shit's not going to work. If you do magic, you're going to forget how. What's that leave? Regular old people who just have really good skills. But Grand Madam, you don't take away people's rights to have powers because you don't like superhumans. You don't use them as fodder by planting bombs in their heads and telling them, you do this or else. Because a lot of the stuff she's doing is not for the benefit of the United States of America, like she pretends it to be. She's fanatical. Don't some of the best villains think they're right? Some of the best villains said this is the way we should be doing this. And if you ain't thinking my way, you ain't for me. And I'm going to off you. And that's what she did. She didn't give nobody no choice. She didn't say, do you want me to take your power? If you don't stop doing if you don't stop putting on that costume, flying around, saving people, I'm going to take your powers away. Nope. She just did it. And she teamed up with 2 robots to do it. Oh, and did I mention? Well, never mind. That's not important because at the end of the story, something different happens. Anyway. So, Grand Madam, you sound like you got a little Amanda Waller in you. I was right to be afraid of you. Theo said, when I was reviewing Jon Stewart's comic, the Green Lanterns were disabled. They looked at Jon as a criminal because he still wielded the willpower without the ring. Waller is Trump. That's a nice segue into what I wanted to talk about in a second. But we're going to go ahead and do some other stuff here a second. There's a robot. I don't know if you see it on the cover here. That robot right there is called Failsafe. He's basically a robot version of Batman. So he thinks, plans, strategizes, that kind of a thing. You got a Batman robot, basically. And a Brainiac queen. So think all the shit Brainiac does. And then some. You're working with an intelligence that's known to be malevolent. She's bad. And she takes them and uses them to her own end. She's, I don't know. I mean, I've always said that if I ever had superpowers, I wouldn't use them for good. I couldn't use them for good. I would be more like Tyler Martin's creation from Godhood Comics. I would be more like the antagonist. Is what I would do if I had superpowers. You know what I'm saying? I do it for me. I do it for the culture. I do it for my people. That might not necessarily line up with what laws say and politicians and presidents say, but what they gonna do? I got superpowers. Come get me, you know? So that kind of a thing. I think is kind of how, well, basically, the most unlikely character becomes the person who forges the heroes together and comes up with a plan. Y'all want me to tell you who that is, or you want to wait and read Absolute Power yourself? Say you be nothing more than an urban myth. I'm with Paul Martin. It depends on the powers. You know what I'm saying? There are powers that are overt. Superhuman strength, speed, invulnerability, most forms of energy manipulation. Invisibility, however, telepathy, possession, enhanced senses. You know, you could have a ton of powers like passive powers that would just equate real well and be super useful like in the real world. You know what I mean? So if you had powers, would you want to be able to fly? Because eventually somebody gonna try to catch you. If you fly, somebody's just gonna try to capture you. A man flying through the air, American government can't allow that. No government can allow that. You flying through the air, get your black ass down here, is what they gonna say. You don't need to be flying over us unless you got on the red, white, and blue. Let me stop. We're going into a whole different conversation. Kabaya say you don't use evil AI. It allows you to further its goals while making you think it's your idea. Race, yeah, racial, serial immortality. Absolutely. 700 years worth of living. Longest, nah, never mind. That's a different show. Gray said Waller's theme song is the message. And like a jungle sometimes, it made me wonder how I keep on going. Okay. Theo say a black superhero, even in this day and age, they'd want to manipulate and dissect the white hero, the black hero. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And that's the whole that's the whole premise behind Black by Kwanzo Sayefo. Black people are the only people on earth that can get superpowers. That's a whole race of people with superpowers, and they kidnapping them, dissecting them, all kind of stuff like that. So yeah, I 100%, yeah, I can see that. I'm not showing y'all I got powers, and if I do got powers, I'm using them powers against y'all anyway. You know what I'm saying? Paul Martin said, I would only want Sue Richards or Noah, the black kid from Heroes. Oh, okay. No, I thought they used Race versus Waller. Nah, ain't no Race in that book. There's a lot of other people in there. And if he is in here, I don't remember seeing him. Yeah, they was getting got, bro. Them Amazos was not no joke. If I had powers, I would get a government job, find out who is leading the charge against Soups, and get them out of there. Yeah, see, that's kind of stuff you got to do, man. You got to be able to DL getting that mugs. You know, you just can't be out here. Now, If I'm a human juggernaut, that might be a different story. Like Paul was saying earlier, it depends on the power set. If I was the Hulk, somebody you have a hard time wrangling, and if you brought the army against me, I can handle them. Magneto wouldn't care. Wouldn't care. Walk around with a magnetic field around me at all times. Mug try to assassinate me, shoot me, pew, pew, get them. You know what I'm saying? I know I wouldn't be doing no good. I wouldn't. Ain't no sense in me kidding myself. I wouldn't be doing no good with superhuman power. I mean, not like I wouldn't become like no evil. Well, not intentionally. I would. Okay. In terms of villains, if Mastermind is the highest and Rabble Rouser is the lowest, then I'm going to be somewhere close to Mastermind. That type villain. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if we doing dirt, I'm going to make sure I'm going to go Amanda Waller on you too. And speaking of Amanda Waller, because I was reading Absolute Power, you know who Amanda Waller reminds me of in the way they behave and their tactics, and as far as what I'm doing with this organization that I'm in charge of? Fucking Cecil. Cecil Stedman of the GDA. For those of you that don't know who the character on the right is, I just told you. That's Cecil Stedman of the Global Defense Association from the Invincible series. Pretty much same kind of shit as Amanda Waller. I'm manipulating you. I'm using you for my own ends. I'm not above working with villains. I'm not above taking control of villains. So, in an all-out battle, resources versus resources, who's going to come out on top? Amanda Waller or Cecil Stedman? Let the comments ignite. Kind of looks like Biden. What's up, Anansi? Yes, and Amazo did become a Green Lantern. You are correct. They are making MCU's Val a Waller type. Sucks ass. Cecil worse. Um, uh, mm, uh, mm. Theo, you got Amanda. Viltrumites being vulnerable to high frequencies. I don't know why Earth as is fears them. Yeah, because I mean, That last, like I was like 2-3 episodes ago, he had implanted something in Mark's brain that gave off high frequency sonics and was like, "Oh, you gonna do what I say doing?" And bruh, what's with Muggs liking to plant stuff in people's heads? What is that all about? Nobody else? No takers? We don't know who we don't know who we dealing with here. Cecil didn't tell his helper he's basically a cyborg. I think Amanda did something similar to that in Checkmate, didn't she? Oh, I'm sorry. And Amanda and Will Magnus. She's working with Will Magnus too. From the Doom Patrol. We already know Will Magnus be shitting on his people. So it was just a shit fest, apparently. Oh, shit. Yeah. Amanda ain't putting no high frequency sonics in your brain. She put nanites and bombs and shit in your brain. So yeah, she's nasty work, bro. Kinetic kill. How does Waller deal with Michael Holt? Michael Holt is a technology based superhero. None of his technology worked. Batman is a technology and gadget based hero. None of his tech worked. They had to go in some vault somewhere and find like gear for people to put on, kind of like when the Fantastic Four lost their powers and they had these rigs that kind of like simulated their powers. Stuff like that. But y'all never did tell y'all who was in charge. Nightwing. Nightwing. Mr. Terrific and Batman were arguing about who should lead the group. And Richard just stepped in and was like, can I have y'all attention? Y'all know me, I'm Nightwing and blah, blah, and goes on to give a speech worthy of Captain America himself and inspired and rallied them superheroes into action. I knew there was a reason why I love Richard Grayson as the #1 Batman sidekick of all time. Red Hood wouldn't have been able to do that shit. Tim wouldn't have been able to do that. And Damian Show wouldn't have been able to do that. You know what I'm saying? All hail Richard Grayson, the Robin of all Robins. Anyway, so yeah, we don't got no. So that's like 2 Amandas and don't nobody else. Okay, I'm I'm cool. Upward and onward. What I always say, upward and moving and onward. Speaking of upward and moving and onward, I got a challenge for y'all. Now, y'all, so you saying they spent years developing Richard, who was originally a side character? I said what I said. Hey, different company, Theo. Different company. They might believe in promoting from the ranks. maybe the esteemed competition is like, if that end, we don't care nothing about him. We care about his land, though. Challenge Day, huh? I mean, we can talk about what we talk about underneath. You know what I'm saying? Richard Grayson has always been a great character because I think, and this is just my opinion, Richard Grayson has always been a great character because he has always been consistently written. We ain't deviate what Richard Grayson was. We've never deviated what Richard Grayson was. What motivates Richard Grayson is what has always motivated him since he was in the Flying Graysons. A desire to do better, a desire to improve, a strong sense of justice. Not vengeance, justice. Dick Grayson believes people get what they deserve, but through a system. Dick Grayson is not a cold-blooded killer. But ranked among the best fighters in the DC universe. Yeah. And has had his own comic for a while now. Nightwing. Yeah. He's got a monthly. 100-something issues, if I'm not mistaken, right? He even had a series for a while called Grayson. Yeah. He's been around a while. Leader of the Teen Titans. That guy. Yeah. He's been getting shine regularly. But DC saw his shine and let him continue to rise and let him continue to. You don't think it has anything to do with the fact that well, Paul Martin, Richard should be on DC's Mount Rushmore with the Trinity. He was on Super Friends, wasn't he? The only Robin to be in a Justice League. Well, not the only one, the first one. Damn, how many of Bruce's proteges got their own comic? Geez, you wouldn't think that's possible. How many members of the Avengers have their own comic book? Would be a more potent question. Of the Avengers that are on their current roster, how many of them have a monthly comic book? And before you answer, the Scarlet Witch has a monthly comic. Even the Scarlet Witch? Damn. Yes, Cassandra Cain is currently Batgirl. And she has a comic. Monthly. Just started, but she's got one. Remember when the editors wanted to kill him off in Infinite Crisis and the editors reversed course, sensing the fan backlash? Yes, Theo, I remember that. Bruh. I mean, I think he hasn't he had a death arc? He's had a death arc, hasn't he? I mean, he's been killed before, is what I'm getting at. So, but they brought him back. Do we trust those guys over Marvel editorial to bring T'Challa back if they off him in the 616? And before you answer, I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be a very action figure instructive evening. Before you answer, this guy hasn't been seen in the 616 since 1982. This is all that's left of Marvel. A damn action figure. His sales were tanking. Nobody was buying the comic. We didn't think it was a good idea to maybe like make him a backup feature in somebody else's comic. Shut up, D-Real. Get your own comic book company, and then you can do whatever the hell you want to do. That's basically what I got told today on Twitter. Twitter is an evil place. Twitter is a mean-spirited place. Twitter is kind of like social media hell. That's what people just be out there talking bad to each other. You know, they don't even want to hear nothing, useful you got to say. Fuck you, fucker. Take a breath. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we ain't seen this cat. So before you start telling me about who is and who ain't and who will and who won't, remember Marvel. Once a beloved hero in the 616 universe. Folks loved Marvel. Mr. Ray Smith said that this here was one of his favorite characters. I liked Marvel too. I ain't no sense of me front. I thought he's a cool character. But he's so perfectly Caucasian. Not hide nor hair. Oh, every now and then you'll get the Marvel that's time displaced. Oh yeah, that's Captain Marvel from 1977. Captain D, he's got a disco haircut. They'll give us that. You know what I'm saying? That nonsensical shit. That drop in a bucket stuff. You know what I'm saying? You give me Marvel. Can you give me Marvel? Nah, you can't even give me Marvel. So people chomping at the bit for Carol Danvers. No? Be a great time to bring Marvel back. Kill her and bring back Marvel. What should we Marvel been dead, what? Damn near 40 years? A little over 40 years? $43 years, right? He's been dead. That ain't long enough. That ain't a long enough character purgatory for your ass. 43 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care for Captain Marvel, for Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Not because he's a woman. I just don't care for her as a character. I like her when she was binary. I just don't. She don't do it for me. That's all. That's your favorite hero. At least Triathlon still pops up. Well, he's 3D man now, but he still pops up every now and again. We still see Delroy Garrett. Matter of fact, he was just in Avengers not too long ago, rocking a jacket. So he's still around. I ain't seen Gilgamesh in a while. I like Gilgamesh. I ain't seen Gilgamesh in a while, but yeah, now it ain't been 43 years. Ever since the nonsense other than posting, I don't even want to be over there for the exchanges. Someone always on. Yeah. That's how I got drawn into the shit I got drawn into. All I did was ask a question and then damn. You know what I'm saying? Gatekeeping. I just tap it on the fence. Oh, I got an agenda and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I avoid it. If y'all know, y'all don't see me over there too frequently. It's an networking and politicking. That's all I do with it. I pop up, tell you about this here, and guess we got coming on tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I might send some sunshine, might throw up an action figure. Other than that, I ain't fooling with it. It's evil over there, man. It is an evil place. Anansi say trade a Marvel for a Marvel. I'd be for that. I'm a school y'all. On this action figure thing because Captain Marvel got me thinking. I know I've been telling y'all about McFarlane's junks, man. I know he's going out of minute, but I mean, look there, look at the detail in them characters. I mean, look at that. That's details, man. In Aqualad, them details. And that Ace West, that chest emblem and all that stuff going on the shoulder, and that's detail. That John Stewart, that gun he's holding. That John Stewart kind of look like Diggle to me, but anyway, they are known for their attention to detail. Now, dare I say it, Mythic Legions ain't no punks either. They have very detailed action figures as well. As you can see, Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, all of they line. And that right there in the front, the black one, that's the Krampus. You know what I'm saying? That's a Krampus, bro. And then the rest of them, they got these, beasts and monsters and creatures and things of that nature. I mean, that horse, there's a lot of detail in them figures. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing for me to throw up pictures. But y'all know it's me. So I can do way more than throw up a bunch of pictures, huh? All right. Detail for detail. Right? This is how we're going to go. Detail for detail. First up, for Team McFarlane, we got Orion, son of Darkseid, complete with his Astro harness. I would have liked another head sculpt where Orion's got his helmet off, but this is what you got. And Orion's a very simple figure. I mean, you take away the harness, you basically just got a Superman-esque uniform, but the details are reversed. Same color scheme, though. But, see the detail in the helmet there. That's good detail. Look at the Astro harness. That's damn good detail. Okay. For Mythic Legions, we have Zende Amonthir. He is a scroller caster. That's just a fancy way of saying he do magic. He's got quite a bit of detail too. Those greaves. Look at the detail in those greaves. And that staff. Look at that intricate staff. That is beautiful. He's got accessories too. He's got a hoodie, a cloth. Well, I'll show it to you. He's got a cloth hoodie. Well, it's a hooded cloak. I ain't gonna say hoodie. It's a hooded cloak. I'm gonna have to pop his head off for a second. It pops right off. Look at that. And then we get Zende back in. Just like that. And boom. You got the hoodie. Cloth. Cloth. Pull that down there like that. It's got wiring in it. So I can make him look Jedi-like if I want to. Yeah, we just pull it on off there. So we got Orion. We got Zende. Who has the better details? McFarlane or Mythic Legion? 4 Horsemen specifically. Let's go to the comments because we're gonna have it's gonna be a best 2 out of 3. I got 4 more, maybe. Mario say Todd sliding on Marvel now with them statues. Todd ready to go into the sunset. Say Mythic Legions. I like Mythic Legions too. Alan Richardson could play Orion. That reminds me, I'm gonna have to watch Reacher tonight. I likes it too. D-Real the Sorcerer. You keep finding the ones that resemble you. Okay. We about to take care of that in a second, Gray. Hang on. But I mean, if I'm being honest, ain't it about having shit that look like you? Just saying. Anywho, yeah, he bald head too. Anyway, we liking the mythic, huh? We liking the mythic. We liking the mythic. We liking the mythic. Okay. That is one in favor of mythic. All right. So, all right. DC slipping. I had expected this to happen. So DC got to come back in a major way. And so I'm coming back with Ghost Maker. Okay. Other than having one of the coldest fucking names in all the comics, he is trained in the same style of combat, the same disciplines of combat as Batman. Trained with Batman in some of those disciplines. And he's so cold, Batman said to him, me and you gonna make a treaty. You don't ever come to Gotham and interfere with nothing I'm doing, and I won't come nowhere and interfere with what you doing. Of course, Ghostmaker had a job that took him to Gotham, and him and Batman ended up coming to blows. So there. Look at the detail on that helmet. Look at the van braces. Look at the breastplate. Very ornate, very detailed. Now, looking at that cape for a second, you think that was cloth. Nope. That hoodie don't move. That cape is stiff as me when I see my wife. Uh, but yeah, there. That's a badass look. That's a badass look. He's all white. And his name is Ghostmaker. And he got two katanas on his back. And he got a built-in kind of bruh. Okay. Now, who, pray tell, who are we going to get from the Mythic Legion side to match up with Ghostmaker? Well, I chose Lord Barderic Autumnborn, who does not look like me. But he is cold looking, ain't he, though? Look at that detail. Baby, baby. A lot of play in them too, man. They are pretty posable. They are pretty posable. And one thing I like about them, they stand up on their own on the first try. You ain't gotta struggle with them. You just like plop them down and they stay there. That's some detail there, bruh. That's some detail there, bruh. Okay. Look like we got a competition. Shit. Okay. Ghostmaker or Lord Barderic? Please lock in your choices. Those are two nice looking figures, man. Okay. Look like folks is chiming in on this one. I done got your roused now, have I? Very well then. Okay. Fire, 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 fire. Theo said Ghostmaker was almost his Storm Shadow. Gray likes Ghostmaker's design. So that probably means he likes Ghostmaker. Attention to detail. Yes. I mean, that's important. So a lot of, figures, have detail. That's what I like. That's one of the things I go for when I'm looking for an action figure. If it don't have details, just I'm getting one because I want to get one. But for the most part, I love it. I love details. I love little details. He thinks it's fire. Ghosty looks like a blitz attack ninja, like Taki. Well, I read the story, the Batman story with him in it. He's a lot of things. He's a lot of things. Anansi is going with Ghostmaker. Kamoyo is going with Bardrick. I tell him Ghost. Hang on a second. Mythic has more texture. Are you able to unsheath the two blades on Ghost? I like you, and I tell him. You ask poignant questions. And the answer to that question is a resounding hell yeah. Sure can. No, Paul Martin. Ghostmaker is Singaporean. He's from Singapore. Yeah, of course. Stupid. That's what Singaporean means. Okay. Damn, y'all got me. I gotta take score now and shit. Too many y'all chiming in. Let me see. See who has it. Okay. We got GM LB. Okay, that is Ghostmaker Mythic. Ghostmaker Mythic. Theo, did you vote? And Nancy said Mythic. No, you said, never mind. Hold up, Ghosty again. I'm not trying to win you over. I'm showing you the level of detail that has gone into that figure. Not to say there's not a certain level of detail in that character's outfit. That hair, though. So there you go. Well, only 4 of y'all voted. It's 2 and 2. Graham Adams said Mythic. Currently, Kamoyo said Mythic. Gray said Ghost. And Anansi said Ghost. Oh, now tell him said Ghost. My bad. So that's 3 for Ghostmaker. 3 for Ghostmaker. 2 for Lord Barger. Okay. So in a very close edge of 3-2, Ghostmaker wins. Okay. So we're tied. This next one is going to decide who has the greater details. Mythic Legion or McFarlane. Multiverse. All right. Well, since they are behind, they stuck. This is probably going to be considered cheating. Black Lightning. Detail in them hands and that lightning effect. Not to mention his costume. Look at the detail. A lot of detail in that costume. Lot of detail in there. Look at the boots. Lot of detail in that costume. Lot of detail. Okay. That's DC. Black Lightning. That belt's actually a belt too. It's not like it's just drawn on. It's lifted off there. It's there. Okay. So who are we squaring him off against? I thought about it. I was going to use Xenothon, but this character is perfect for the segue I want to go into. Boom. This character is named Purplor. Purplor. Yeah, he's Purplor. With a very big ass blade and a very feline face. He comes with a tail, but I didn't put the tail on him. So there's that one. What's that on his nose? Oh, that's just the shine off his nose. It's got like a Black Lightning. Purplor. Jefferson Pierce, like, I'll just grab the end of your sword and electrocute you, kitty cat. Who we liking? Who we liking in this one? Who we liking? Purplor. Or Black Lightning? Okay. Let's see what y'all talking about. MLMC. All right. Anansi said, Black Lightning, I choose you. Gray says, Mythic Legends. Kamayo says, Black Lightning. He said too easy to do per these days for perp to be so smooth. Okay. Okay. Is that all that's voting? Is that all that's playing? Well, it looks like barely. Barely. DC takes the bout and the match. So for these two lines today, McFarlane has the superior figure. Now, something else kind of funny I wanted to share with you. You know what I noticed about Mythic Legions? I mean, great figures. But I would like to share something with you. Purplor, believe it or not, Purplor actually comes with some shoulder pads, but I didn't put them on him. I don't think they would have made a difference. Purplor, the idea of him is original, but the inspiration is not. Watch it click. Remember him? Purple Panther? Green highlights? Purple Panther? Green highlights? Hey, you know what? And I started going back and looking at some of the other Mythic Legions characters I have. Xenothon. See if I can pull him up. I think I got a picture of him. This one. That's another Mythic Legions one. Xenothon. Remind you of anybody? I'll give you a hint. Same line of characters. Okay. I'm coming. Hang on. Okay. And we're done. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, that color scheme. That color scheme. Feathers, gray, blue, red. Feathers, gray, blue, red. So, Mythic Legions apes some of their characters or gets the inspiration for some of their characters from Masters of the Universe designs. Yep. Okay. Hokey dokey do. Yeah. That's purple. All right. I got some cleaning to do. Action figures everywhere. Goodness gracious. Okay. That is the Black Lightning you snatched. It looks like someone took Purplord to the vet. He said, yo, Purplord, why you so smooth, man? He told Skeletor to get himself another whip. So Mythic Legions is like the Hobots or Action Force. Stratos. Yes. Man, wait till I get a printer and create my Black Panther line of totally. Well, now you see you can use the hell out the color scheme, and it ain't a damn thing anybody can do about it. Just have to be creative with your slickness. Last story of the night. Well, no, not last story of the night. Action figures. Yo Joe, G.I. Joe got some shit coming. This ain't out yet. I think it'll be out like in the fourth quarter. Okay, first one. Richard King. Like that? Okay. Like the glow in the dark effect on the shield, all of that mask, and that is just the mask, because this is what Richard King is based on a Stephen King character. Okay. And his likeness is that of Vincent Price. That's a nice looking character. Richard King. And he's a Joe. He's not Cobra. He's a Joe. He's an illusionist and fighter. Up next, Blowtorch. Blowtorch is doing the damn thing with those fire effects. I like that fire effect. And somebody went and found him some fire to go shoot. This is nice. It's a nice looking figure. I don't know if I'll pick it up, but I already got a barbecue, so I don't know. I don't know that I need Blowtorch, and I can get my own. Well, actually, I have my own flame effects. So Blowtorch, I can take him or leave him. And that's Darklon. Obviously a Joe. I mean, a Cobra with a name like Darklon. That's a nice blade, though. And he's got another head that looks kind of ninja-ish. Just, so as you know. So if you're into the Joes, all of them except that Richard King are available. The Richard King has already sold out. So we'll have to wait next go around. When they get to Richard King and X-Force Archangel, I'm on it. Also, no, I will save the world's smallest violin situation for last. Said GoBot sucks so bad and Action Force. He said, okay, I got Panther Black, Ion Man, America's Captain, your Dark Spider, and Eagle Eye. My team is the Affirmers. Oh. Well, if you really want to go all the way, get you a line of mutants and call them the Metas or the Alphas. The Alpha men, the Amen. Because we are alpha to regular humans. Why not, damn it? Why not? Real quick, before, see, I did forget. Come on, Mr. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. That's an old picture, but this show sounds successful. Why is it successful? Because of anything Kevin Feige did? No. The show is probably successful because it was fucking successful on Netflix, and you just took the formula and transferred it over to Disney. Minus the sex. Right? So What'd you do different? Nothing? Okay. That's kind of what I thought. So when this show is lauded as a rousing success, is it going to be because of the people at Disney or because of the people at Disney taking an original idea and making it unoriginal? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, some people will have to wait and see. I am on to the world's smallest violin. What is the world's smallest violin? Well, we all know good and well what people mean when they say, I got the world's smallest violin. It means somebody said some shit that you didn't really care one way or the other about, and you don't have no problem telling them you don't care one way or the other. Or not hearing the BS, not hearing the whining, crying, and complaining. I got the world's smallest violin. When it comes to people who are crying, panicking, and freaking out about what was clearly outlined in detail in Project 2025. You voted against your own interests, plain and freaking simple. Why should I feel sad that the state of Nebraska is going bankrupt? Why should I feel sad about anything that's happening to people who voted against their own interests? And that is not by far my only violin moment. I have the world's smallest violin for people who thought they were doing something original on social media. Come to find out, they're not. And they're not as popular as they thought they were. You make your own bed. It's up to you to lay in it, one way or the other, for good or for ill. You better take that rotten apple and make rotten applesauce. There'll be more of it to go around that way. And nah, we ain't calling out no names today because we don't have to. I have the world's smallest violin for sports fans whose team have not been to the big game in 20, 30 years. Up until 2019, Chiefs wasn't in the Super Bowl for 50 years. And it only took 3 Super Bowl titles for people to get tired of seeing them and talk shit. So, Philadelphia, get ready. If y'all continue your winning ways, it's going to happen to you too. People hate a winner. And that ain't just in sports. When you winning in anything, people hate you. They either want to get closer to you or they hate you. They can't just be like, oh, that's him. Or even better, they can't congratulate. Fucking congratulate when somebody's winning. I'm not hating you because you winning. Oh, he think he all that, cuz. Say it with your chest, nephew. And we can play this sweet chin music all day. I got time. And also, people that want to say something crazy to me, you ain't got to say it on social media. Because to me, I feel like you fronting for the camera. You ain't got to say it all out. And yeah, pull me to the side if you're trying to teach me something. Because if you're trying to teach me something, the lesson is for me, not for everybody to see you trying to teach me. You understand? And that's not an ego thing. It's being nice to people. There have been dozens of times on social media I've seen somebody saying something stupid or about to say something stupid, and I said something to them in private. I don't know who that's for, as my pastor used to say. I don't know who that's for, but you need to marinate on that knowledge, that information. Bernthal walked away before they fixed the script and took out the Feige influences. Yeah, and so now, he gonna be that guy still. It's gonna be like when it's successful, they're gonna be like, oh, Kevin Feige, blah 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 blah. Kevin Feige didn't make that shit successful, and that's all I'm saying. And now, I mean, you might as well say it's tainted now. Now that it's so Disney, but I'm gonna stop because folks already say I have an agenda. So I don't want to influence you any way or the other. If you want to go watch Daredevil, by Jove, go watch Daredevil. But you wanted to know what the what was, and you asked me to give you the what. So don't be telling me who I am because I gave you the what. So don't ask me why either. You know why. Oh, just as soon as I said it, see, now I tell them right there. See, Disney got that Disney stench on them. That is right. You know how we rock. We support and congratulate. Wish there was more like us. I don't know why that's so hard for people to do. When you up, they don't want to show no love. They don't want to break no bread. They don't want to talk to you. Oh. Okay, well, you ain't talking now. Don't talk later. Don't don't try to kick it to me after I blow up you. Wait. Look here, y'all. I did all 7 topics. I bet what you should say that boy, boy. What you say now? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, hit them all. I'll be damned. I'm pretty good at this. Anyways, look here, y'all. I'm gonna do my propers. I'm gonna do my propers. I'ma show the homie love, cause the homie pulling up to the set. The homie don't have to pull up to the set. Oh, excuse me. I be having fun. Oh, this is fun. This is so much fun. Wow. 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 I know this guy that always says that. This guy named Ian. He's always laughing. It's like, wow. 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 Anyway. Friday vibing with D-Real and Theo B tomorrow evening at a special time. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's just for tomorrow. Next week, we go back to the regular time. But make sure if you're going to pull up on time. Again, that time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Got it? Make sure you pull up. David Pepos, writer of Space Ghosts and a few other books that we are definitely going to talk about. He is a very, very, very busy guy. And I got a few questions about a particular project that he just threw my way today. I ain't gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna just let you see the comic, and you can marvel at the stuff that goes through this man's mind. And I definitely want to pick it to see where he's at with some of his creative thought processes. I think it's gonna be a fun show, y'all. And y'all make sure y'all pull up on time because we are going to be rocking at a different time. We're going to be starting the vibe a little early tomorrow. Also, too, I am in the throes of anniversary. So I'm doing anniversary stuff. And that's the reason. Well, one of the reasons David said he couldn't do it at the time that we normally do it. Plus, that works for me anyway. So does that give me more time to go out and do anniversary things? So yeah, y'all make sure y'all pull on up for the pull up tomorrow. David Pepos, he does Space Ghost, he does Captain Planet, he does Cable, he does Moon Knight, and a lot of other shit you ain't even heard of. But we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow on the vibe, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, how many times did I say how many times did I say the time? How many times have I said the time? I done said the time a few times. Now, somebody come in, oh, I thought it was dumb. Be like, shut up, Negro. You just tardy. Just accept your tardiness. Anyway, he does. Man, 8 at my that I 8 titles a month. 8. He's writing 8 titles. I'm shocked he's even got time to come and sit with us. You know, that's a busy man. That's a busy man. Have to ask him how he does it tomorrow. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Kamoya. I appreciate it, brother. Did you see the news of Roger Jean Page producing and starring in The Count of Monte Cristo? No, I didn't, but I think that is a wonderful idea, given that the author is a black man as well. Very cool. Dante should have been a black guy anyway, shouldn't he? We've been making him a white guy for years. Don't give me the line. Anyways, we are at the 2-hour mark, kids. And I thank y'all for coming on the journey with me. Again, make sure y'all pull up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Totally vibing with your man D-Real at the OB. We're going to be in the building with David Pepos. You're going to be mad if you miss it because this one's going to be epic. Thank y'all for pulling up, hanging out, chilling with a brother, doing some things, answering some questions, participate. Maybe we get that action figure thing. Maybe we turn that into a regular segment. Y'all seem like y'all was really into that. Look here, y'all. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, though. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Big at each other.